What is up, people? Today is a great day. We're talking about one of my favorite prospects in this class. Actually, so far, my number one overall prospect across the offensive positions. And today, that guy is a dominant wide receiver, and that's Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. He is an incredible prospect. He's everything you want to see, and people are excited already. But just you wait, it's going to get even better. People are going to be so excited about Treylon Burks. Now is the time to buy in. Now is the time to do your research because you want to be ahead of the curve. And it is only a matter of weeks until Treylon Burks is one of the top names that people are talking about. He's already getting talked about a lot on Twitter, but just wait for the national media to catch up because it's going to happen, and we'll get to exactly just why. But just giving you the quick stats, you'll see why I'm excited. You're probably going to be excited already. Treylon Burks coming out of Arkansas, 6'3", 225 pounds, four-star recruit, had a productive college career. And he's just got that size, that speed, that production profile that everyone loves. It's hard to hate on Treylon Burks. And just the upside, the potential for him, that ceiling is huge. We've seen some guys at that size absolutely dominate in the NFL, especially with the athletic ability to match with it. Now, is he going to be that top prospect? Is he super safe, bulletproof prospect? No prospect is a guarantee. But hey, I'm willing to place my bets on Treylon Burks so far because what I've watched and what I've seen has been incredible. And hey, this is a pretty good wide receiver draft class, and this guy is number one for me right now. Looking at his college production, he was a member of the 2019 SEC all-freshman team, so he produced right away his freshman year with 29 receptions for 475 yards, 16.4 yards per catch. So that's a nice clip right there. 16 yards per catch looks good. Arkansas is not a great team until this year. They actually had a pretty good year this year, but the past decade, Arkansas has not been a good team. They've kind of been the punching bag of the SEC West. Now, so for his freshman year, almost 30 receptions, almost 500 yards. That is pretty good for that team. Right away, making something happen. He was able to improve every year, and actually the team around him improved every year as well. And he was one of the big reasons they improved. This year, they actually went 9-4. Their best finish, the Razorbacks' best finish since 2011. They got into the bowl. They actually beat Penn State. And Treylon Burks was a huge part of that because this year he had 66 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and found the end zone 12 times, 11 through the air, once on the ground. And that production is impressive, especially when he accounted for over half of the passing touchdowns. He accounted for about 40% of the reception yards. He was that offense, and when he got the ball in his hands, he made things happen. And the team got him the ball often. You know, over his 3-year career, he had 38 rush attempts and had a couple of touchdowns there. You know, they got him the ball, and he was involved in the offense. He was a focal point. It's not just a big guy that's just going down the field. He was inside, outside, in the backfield. This guy's a playmaker. And at 6'3", 225 pounds, I love a playmaker with that kind of size. So he's exciting. And going right into it, that alpha size, that's what gets me excited. I love those big wide receivers. We all want to see the next Calvin Johnson, the next Randy Moss. And those are really high expectations to ever put on any prospect. But Treylon Burks, he has a high ceiling with that size-speed combination. I was actually just talking to my friends over the Dynasty Rewind today, and we've kind of agreed that as a floor, we're looking at Treylon Burks as the next Chase Claypool at minimum. So I'm loving that kind of comp. The upside from there is incredible. And just the size speed. We love size speed prospects. We all do. We love to see the freak athletes, and Treylon Burks is one of those dudes. So just looking at the top 4 career reception yard leaders in the NFL, all 4 of the top 4 were 6'2" or taller. And in order, that's Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, and Randy Moss. Like I said, high expectations to put him up with those guys, but he has that potential to be one of the best just because of that size speed combo and the production that he had in the SEC with that Arkansas team. Now, With this size, what's he doing with it? Is he aggressive at the catch point? Yes, he is. He is great in the contested catch situations. I like to call him the back shoulder king because no matter where KJ Jefferson threw that ball, Treylon Burks was coming down with it. He's got the length, he's got the thick frame to body up defensive backs. He made it happen. If the ball came his way, he was getting his mitts on it. He got strong hands to finish the catch through the catch point, no matter what the defender's doing. And it's just something that we're going to see. He's going to be on the Sports Center top 10 multiple times throughout the NFL season. It's just one of those guys you love to watch because he makes impressive catches with the body control, the physicality. And it's not just the size, as I talked about, the speed combination. Like I said, he got involved on sweeps, on screens. He wasn't just a go route kind of guy, not just a sideline player. He was inside as well. They got him the ball, and he has the burst to get through, split defenders, make the big plays. He had a 91-yard reception touchdown this year for Arkansas. He is a big playmaker. And think about how the Pittsburgh Steelers have used Chase Claypool in the past 2 years along the goal line with those little handoffs and stuff. We can see Treylon Burks do this stuff. He did that for Arkansas. We can see him get manufactured touches in the NFL to go along with just the fact that he's a great wideout. So love this kid, but there are some weaknesses. This draft class doesn't have anybody without weaknesses. Despite Treylon Burks being the number one overall wide receiver for me, one thing I notice is despite him being one of the strongest guys at the catch point, once he has the ball and he's running down the field, he's not playing necessarily up to his size, above his size when he's coming into contact with defenders. At 6'3", 225 pounds, I'm expecting, what I've seen with him catching the ball, I expect him to carry defenders with him. I expect him to run people over. And while he's not soft, he's just not as dominant after the catch as you would think someone with his size and physicality would have. So one point I think he can just improve upon at the next level, and kind of piggybacking off of that, his run blocking is not really what you would expect either for his size. I'm not sure if it's just a lack of effort or lack of technique or maybe a little bit of both, but hopefully that's one of the first things that coaching can really work with him in minicamp. And if he can improve that very quickly, we're going to see him on the field early and often, because with his size, if he can get his run blocking down, he's going to be the guy out there on the run plays where there's only one wide receiver out there. He's going to be the guy on the sideline that is going to always have the chance for the ball. And last but not least, you see this with a lot of big players. It's not necessarily like a huge weakness, but just not a strength really is. He's not the most technical route runner. The release of the line, he's a big guy. It's a little bit harder to break down, get those hips too low, but he kind of rounds off his cuts. Something just needs to be improved on. Not necessarily bad, but if he wants to reach those upper echelons, then he's going to have to just improve the route running, be a little bit smoother, be able to get around and create separation with those defenders at the next level. Now, I talked about Treylon Burks exploding onto the scene over the next couple months. And the big reason why is going to be the NFL Combine. Size, speed, NFL Combine go together perfectly. When he goes and he runs a 4.4, and I'm going to tell you, 4.3 is not out of the realm for Treylon Burks. When he runs a 4.4 at his size, everyone's going to be on it. Everyone's going to be freaking out. Wow, this guy, he's going to get the first round draft capital. He has this size speed combination. He's the next, who knows what they're going to say. And it's going to be great. Now, right now, Twitter and fantasy football is a bit higher on Treylon Burks than the draft community necessarily, the national media. But I expect after the Combine, those two are going to come in consensus that Treylon Burks is one of the top wide receivers in this draft class. And I could see him even getting top 15 draft capital. He's definitely a lock for the first round. I think if the hype builds enough, we could see him in the first half of the first round, maybe even the top 10 if a team loves his traits enough and really thinks that he could be one of the top receivers in the NFL. So if he ends up in the middle of the first round, his contract's probably going to be about $4 million a year, somewhere around there. Well, with that fifth year rookie option as well, being a first rounder. Now, we start looking at the NFL draft, the slots we have there, the order, and who's looking for a wide receiver like Treylon Burks in the first round. Now, Treylon Burks is a guy that he's really going to fit any team. Like I said, he played inside, outside, even lined up in the backfield a good amount of time. So he's versatile enough to fit into any offensive scheme, be used by any offensive coordinator. But looking at teams that need that big X alpha wide receiver, One team that comes up immediately to me is the Philadelphia Eagles. They have 3 first-round draft picks all mashed into the middle of the first round. They have Devonta Smith, and hey, they've used 2 first-round picks already in a row on the wide receiver position, so I wouldn't blame them if they don't want to go a third time in a row. But with 3 picks in the first round, they might be willing to throw another one in. And Treylon Burks, I think, would be a great complement to Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith can be the brains. Treylon Burks can be the brawn. You know, Devonta Smith, incredible route runner. He's got the size, and he's just a technician on the field. But Treylon Burks on the outside could really be that power, that physicality, be someone that you can just get those contested catches. It would give Jalen Hurts a good opportunity to have some consistency and talent at the wide receiver position around him. And then we can really see in 2022 if Hurts is the future or not. If they want to give him another year, got to surround him with good talent. And Treylon Burks is one of the best talents out there in this draft. And another team I like, a bit of a dark horse because it depends on the future of one Mike Williams, is the LA Chargers. Now, you got Keenan Allen out there, and you got Mike Williams, who's a free agent, but I would not be surprised to see the Chargers franchise tag him, try to re-sign him. He kind of had up and down years, so I don't know what Mike Williams looks like in his free agency. But if he goes back to the Chargers, we can probably count this one out. But if he leaves, Treylon Burks would be a great fit to replace him in that scheme as that X wide receiver, that down the field threat, but also a guy that can be used to just carry the team when Keenan Allen's out or just not having a great day. And this would be a great matchup for all fantasy football enthusiasts because if we could see Treylon Burks married to Justin Herbert for a couple years, and with Justin Herbert's arm and just the potential that he has, Treylon Burks catching passes from him, it would be exciting. We would all love it. It'd be like Jonathan Taylor to the Colts. It would be a great match. And one thing that I'm really excited about, you know, thinking about the Chargers and Treylon Burks is just that deep ball to Treylon Burks from Justin Herbert. It would be incredible to watch. It'd be a great match. And hey, if Mike Williams leaves, Chargers have the 17th overall pick. They might be looking to surround their quarterback with a good wide receiver that's young, because we've seen what Joe Burrow has done with some good wideouts. They can surround Justin Herbert with some good young talent to go along with Keenan Allen. We've seen what it can do. Doesn't matter how good your offensive line and defense is, apparently, if you have a really good offense. Now, of course it does, but surround your young quarterback with the best weapons. Let them thrive. Let them take you to the playoffs. Maybe the Chargers look at what the Bengals have done and they go and get Treylon Burks in the 17th overall pick. So that's a dark horse for me. I would love to see it, but Treylon Burks fits just about any team. So when I'm talking about team fits, just about every team is on the board. Even the Dallas Cowboys, say Amari Cooper leaves and they pick up Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks and CeeDee Lamb together would be incredible. And hey, we never know what Jerry Jones is going to do. So that's about it for Treylon Burks. Pretty quick here, 13 minutes. And just remember, make sure to like, subscribe, and share to the Dynasty Owner channel. We are killing it over here. We got plenty more prospects for you, plenty more wide receivers to talk about in this draft class. It is full of talent. And you can follow me on Twitter at NateNFL and everything I'm doing over the Dynasty Rewind at the Dynasty Rewind. So until next time,